We don't have a mic. We'll see you out there. Pleasure, bro. Out there. It was awesome to finally actually meet you and hang out. Catch you on the flip side.
Muchachos.
Thanks for everything, man.
Oh yeah.
Trip back as well. Safe travel.
Colombia, here we come.
Well, it's blowing about 15 to 20 knots right now, and we're about to get hit by our first squall, I guess we'd call it. There's a bit of rain and some gray cloud behind us, so we're probably going to get a pretty significant wind increase. And the waves have already picked up a little bit. They're maybe 2 meters now. So we'll see how the Cape Horn behaves. So far, it's been doing really, really well. Been holding us on course great for the last 10 miles downwind with these swells. But we're just going to leave everything set as is and see how it reacts to this the increase in the wind that's coming. It's so much nicer to be out in the cockpit and not have like a squeaky, grindy electrical sound. It's just fantastic. But the only downside to downwind sailing is the Dodger no longer supplies any protection from rain. It just comes right on in. So this time around, yeah, we got the companion way in. This time around, I'm going to hang out here just to make sure I don't have to switch to the heavy wind, the aluminum blade, and make sure we don't have to reef. But next time, if this holds up fine, next time there's a bit of a squall, we'll just be down below, I think, and just let it do its thing. Saying that we're getting about 30 to 50 amps or so from regen, but then this is saying that we're not getting that at all. The motor's spinning and it's got a braking current on it, so the theory is that regen's working, but I'm not sure if the little shunt that we have attached to the MIDNITE solar is actually telling me an accurate reading or not. I think what's happening is it's consuming more power to make the electromagnetic field current than it's regenerating back from the armature spinning inside of that current. I think that's what's happening. Because this says we're drawing 3.3 amps, and without the motor on we're drawing about 2 amps right now. So it's probably taking about 70 watts to make the field current, and it's not putting anything back in. So yeah, I'm going to take this information, I think, email it to Curtis and see if there's something I'm not quite doing. I'm pretty excited about tonight. It's pretty much dead silence. We're rocketing downwind at like 7.5 knots. And it's just calm and chill and quiet. It's absolutely amazing.
And it's a full moon.
And it's a full moon tonight, which makes it that much better. And the sky is perfectly clear. You can see stars horizon to horizon, and the moon just rose. It's going to be a really nice night. The only thing we have to watch out for is ships, because there's ships everywhere. It's basically a shipping lane here between like Panama, US, Puerto Rico, Holland, Venezuela. They all come right in around here, so there's a lot of boats here. We just got a double flyby from the Coast Guard. I think that's the plane that flies out of like Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. It looks like the Dutch Coast Guard plane. And they came across our bow like super low, maybe 150, 200 feet off the water. Then they did a big bank and they came around behind to get pictures of our name probably. And now it looks like they're banking back towards Aruba. That was cool though. We were just like chilling out and all of a sudden we're like, is that an airplane? It's like, whoa, right across our bow. That was crazy.
It's about to rain, so both Dan and I are inside. And we're just letting the boat do its thing.
How are the seas outside?
It's very rolly. So we left Klein Curacao yesterday about the same time as the crew on Cool Change, and we had two different courses of sail. Like we're going to the same spot in Santa Marta, Colombia, but we went underneath Curacao and they went above. And sure enough, in the middle of the night, we didn't expect to see each other.
We're going to finish up our tuna salad here in the cockpit. If you guys want to come over, we got a bunch more left.
We'll see you guys at Santa Marta then. Have a good night and enjoy the weather.
Likewise. See you soon.
Well, just as Kika stopped recording that last clip, we got pretty much knocked down. A wave came and rolled us, I would say, not quite 90 degrees, maybe 70 degrees, pretty far over.
But the wave just like came into the cockpit and all books all over the place, cameras all over the place and broken. Yeah, so. Yeah,
our main camera got soaking wet in the cockpit. We're gonna hope it works. Maybe we should put in a bag of rice. And some books fell down behind. But overall, everything held together pretty well. We shut our power off because I was getting some stray current in all the electrical. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but yeah, that was exciting. We're kind of cleaned up in here now, but I almost forgot that during that whole time, we just left the Cape Horn to do its thing. It steered us through like a 70-degree knockdown, and is still maintaining course after it. and we didn't really even have to do anything about it. None of us were expecting that at all. That was one of those like 7th wave kind of things. Most of them aren't that big, but that one came like up over the solar panels and just right in through the back of the boat, and we went over to the side. Woo! Now we know what that feels like.
The camera was outside and it got soaked with the wave. So now everything is soaking in some rice. Hopefully it will absorb the moisture, and right now I'm videoing with the phone. We're probably going to let the wind vane do its thing, and we're just gonna wait it out in here. Yeah?
You just wanna be happy, wild and young and free. You just wanna be everything you intended to be. While it's all going faster and you can't get a hold of things, and you're longing and searching for something more. You try to remember all the good things that your mama told you. It turns around, you see, it takes time, but you just can't believe that.
Well, this is our 3rd night at sea, and this so far has been a crazy ride. Officially, I think this is the roughest passage that we've been on. We've almost been run over by a ship last night. We got one knocked down today, and the waves are 2 meters on average. Occasionally we see 3 meters, but this is also the first time that I've stayed inside the boat for a long period of time. I think both Dan and I always stayed in the cockpit just because, one, the autopilot never worked, so we had to, helm most of the time, and 2, because, we felt that it was more comfortable. But with those seas and the wave crashing into the cockpit, and the wind vane has been keeping the course like 100%. We have, I think, 70 miles to go, and tomorrow morning we should finally make landfall and get into Colombia.
We're about 10 miles away from Santa Marta. It's kind of weird to be in this much wind and have it be a bright sunny day. Normally we get this kind of wind when it's in the middle of a storm or something. But last night went pretty well. We saw a couple of ships. No major catastrophes happened. No word on our camera yet. It's still sitting in a bag of rice. I think we're gonna wait another day or two to find out if it works. Fingers crossed, because it's kind of our only camera.
We're almost there. I'm excited. I need to take a shower and clean the boat.
Figured I may as well hand steer at least the last 6 miles. Santa Marta Marina. This is sailing vessel Uma. Uma, do you copy?
Yeah, this is Santa Marta Marina. Come on in, Uma.
Good morning. We are about 30 to 45 minutes out, and we're hoping you have a slip available.
Thanks for watching this episode, guys. Make sure you subscribe and like this episode. And don't forget to come back next week when we go onto a mission to fix our GPS that got damaged when we got knocked down. Until then, cheers!